Hi, welcome to another webinar. We have a special guest today, which you have seen before. It's Ruben from our team. He is our ad specialist, and today is really important because Google has been rolling out some updates regarding its ads. And a lot of you have seen Google Ads. You may have even done your own campaigns, and you may notice that Performance Max is an option that you will see under your Google Ads account. And if you don't know about that, agencies all across the country have started working with this, and we've been doing it ourselves, and we've been learning and trying to understand where it adds value, where it doesn't. So I want to welcome Ruben to the webinar. Thanks again for joining us, Ruben. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. Excited to go over this.
Yeah. So you put together a pretty detailed deck, and we're going to jump into that in just a second. Basically, can you just give like a high level overview of, in your opinion, like what the main differences are between regular search ads and Performance Max?
Yes, so there's two things. First, where you can actually see the ad. So with search ads, people will see it on the search engine results page. So if you search something on Google, you have the results, and there's search ads that come up on the top 4 placements. With Performance Max, you can see your ads on various platforms. So on the search engine results page, on YouTube, Gmail, on the display network. So there's various platforms.
Got it. So this is Google's way to get potentially more reach for the ads.
Correct.
Okay. All right, let me pull up the deck. Okay, so should you run Performance Max? That's the question that we're going to be answering today. And Ruben is going to basically be covering with me. I'll be doing more of the prompting rather than the explaining because Ruben is the expert. But we're going to talk about campaign differences, what the default campaigns are, the limitations of Performance Max, and then we're going to be specifically talking about UTMs related to lead generation. There are other metrics or goals that you can attribute to, like e-commerce orders being placed. We are specifically going to talk about lead generation, and then we're going to talk about what we recommend. So let's jump into it. So Ruben, you want to go over what the main campaign differences are?
Yeah, so here, for example, the screenshot on the right is probably where you'll see Performance Max as an option, and they're cut out, but there's YouTube, display, there's other campaign types. The main difference with search is, well, it boils down to the keywords. So you're targeting keywords, and you tell Google when you want your ad to show depending on what people search. Those ads appear on the search engine results page, or SERP, and search gives you relatively more control than Performance Max. So it's really good when you're starting out because you want to start out the right way. Performance Max, on the other hand, it's, instead of keyword based, it's what Google calls search themes and also audience signals. So search themes are similar to keywords, but it's more of a suggestion. Like, I like this keyword, but I'm just suggesting it. Google can go for similar keywords. It also, like I said before, with Performance Max, you can serve ads on various platforms, on YouTube, on search, Gmail, on a blog post where people have AdSense on, you can see ads there.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing, it is, from our experience, less control than if you run like a search campaign for the advertiser.
Yeah, which we'll get into in just a minute, and also not as much transparency, which hurts our ability to deliver ROI for our clients. And if the people that are watching, if you're doing your own ads, it hurts you delivering your own ROI. So default campaign, you just want to go over the details for a default campaign?
Yeah, so going through this, I thought it was odd because if you create a new Google Ads account, right now, the default campaign, so what Google pushes you from the start to launch is a Performance Max campaign. The odd thing is that if you search on Google or on YouTube, like the best way to run a successful Performance Max campaign, for example, most agencies that have tested both are saying that where they see success is if you start with a search campaign, and once you have enough conversions, some say like 30 conversions in the last 30 days, that's when you can move over to Performance Max to test once you have enough conversion data. So it's odd that the default campaign is Performance Max.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. So you're basically, the idea is that you should choose search first to help it teach your Performance Max campaign once you're ready and have those conversions. Is that basically what you're saying?
Correct. So it's just a little awkward when you're creating a new Google Ads account, and what we as an agency recommend is like skipping through that and then actually creating a search campaign. So
Right. Okay. So then let's talk about some of the limitations with Performance Max versus search. So before you start, this side for everyone that's watching is traditional search, and then the right side of the screen is Performance Max.
yeah, so these are some screenshots that I see on the back end when I'm in these accounts. So when I'm in a search campaign, the left screenshot, we squared in the tab search keywords. If you click on that, it'll show you which keywords you're running, but also it allows you to add negative keywords, and negative keywords are just as important. Now, with a Performance Max campaign, it seems like Google is in beta with different accounts. So, as an agency managing various accounts, we've seen different versions. So, the top left and the right image are actually combined. There, we don't see the keyword or search keyword on the top left hand screenshot. So the workaround is you have to go to your account settings, and there you see negative keywords, and that's where you add the keywords instead of the campaign level.
What,
Now,
what's your thought on why would they not put it here like they do for normal search?
so I think it's the control aspect, because, for example, with a search campaign, you can add up to 10,000 negative keywords to that campaign alone. Here on the account level, you can only add up to 1,000. And it's also kind of awkward because think about it this way. If you're running a branded campaign, a competitor's campaign, and a lead generation campaign, those all require different negative keywords. So you can't be as optimal in one without sacrificing the other one. So it's a weird way. I think Google is trying to get you to spend more money.
Yeah. So just to kind of clarify for people that are watching, a negative keyword is a keyword that you don't want your ad to show for. So like if we were running ads for ourselves, like we wouldn't run an ad like this, but let's say that we did for like website designers, let's say, and that's all the ad was. We would want a negative keyword like website builder or website builders, because when people are searching for website builder, usually they're looking for like Squarespace or Wix, like simple, more out of the box, like do it yourself. That's what you mean by a negative keyword, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Builder there in this case would be the negative keyword.
Right.
Correct. Yeah.
But like if let's say the keyword was, you know, I need help building a brand, or I need help building a website, or if we were like going after like long tail keywords, you're saying that since it controls it at basically like the global level, it's going to affect those campaigns where we actually want the word build or builder involved.
Yeah, exactly it. So if in this instance, if there's two campaigns, the one negative keyword builder would affect the other campaign, like you just explained.
Yeah. Okay. That's really frustrating.
Yeah. The
Okay.
next slide
Yeah.
here. Yeah. So this one is, aside from keywords, there's also search terms. So keyword is what you're telling Google, this is what I want. This is the keyword I want to show for. And search terms is what the person actually searched when they clicked on your ad. And the reason there's two is because it doesn't have to be exactly the same keyword. It could be something similar.
Yeah.
But it can go broad. So that's the cross check here. So
Okay.
with a search campaign, you're able to see a lot more search terms than with the Performance Max campaign. And we can get into that on the next slide.
Okay. One thing that we didn't actually talk about this before the webinar, but I just noticed that landing pages is loaded here and it's not here. Is that because it's chopped off or because they don't have like a landing page section?
Right. So landing pages and also search terms, it's not on there. It takes it off. So it's limiting you in that regard.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
frustrating because, yeah, well. Okay, so next slide. So Performance Max is on the top, search is on the bottom.
Yes. So Performance Max, right now we're inside the Insights tab, like you see on the blue on the top left. This is compared to like the search terms. So first we'll go with Performance Max. Here, instead of search terms, Performance Max bundles them into search categories. And it only shows you the top 5. So here we have it descending by clicks. So right now we're looking at what people search for when they clicked on an ad. And the first red rectangle, that's actually a good keyword. So we blocked it off because it's industry specific and location specific.
Yeah.
But you can see the end of the keyword where it says near me. So that's
Right.
someone searching for the service, they're ready to hire someone.
Yeah.
But you can see there's only one click.
Right.
And the next two are competitor keywords, which in this case we weren't even bidding for. And also the brand keyword, again, we weren't bidding for that. This is a lead generation campaign.
And for people that aren't familiar with bidding, you're saying that we did not tell Google we want to pay for these search results.
Correct. So to use your example from before, we're telling Google, hey, we only want website designers near me keywords.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want 329, right? Like our brand or our competitors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's weird that it's even showing up here because there's 0 clicks. It's probably because there were some impressions. But the big thing here is the last red rectangle where it says uncategorized search terms or search category. These are the search terms that you can't even see. Google is saying that it's too little of data to even show, which it's not the case because the top one, there's only one click and it shows it.
Right.
But so like I can't see the exact number because it's a little bit small on my screen, but it's just almost all of them except for one.
Yeah, it's 325.
Right. So out of 326 clicks, Google is only showing you one of those.
Right.
Right. So if we look at the bottom screenshot, which is from the search campaign, we see that 300 out of the 380 clicks, Google is showing us 307 of those search terms, and only 73 of those are hidden. Again, it's not, obviously you want to be able to see all of them, but it's a big difference. 307 and only 73 versus 325 and one click from Performance Max.
Yeah, and we're not showing them obviously just for like client privacy, but as an ad specialist, just I think this might be a little obvious to most people, but just to make sure that we're clear, can you just explain for you, as someone who's running the ads or someone who's doing it themselves, why is it important for them to be able to see these 307 keywords, or I'm sorry, search terms?
Yeah, you want, this is telling you exactly what people are searching for you're before they go into your website. So it determines the quality, and two, it gives you ideas on new keywords to actually bid for, but
Hmm.
also new negative keywords. So like we said before, the keyword like website designer near me, it could show website builder, right? Because it's kind of similar in Google's eyes. But as soon as you see that, you tell Google, hey, I don't want to see this anymore. This is a negative keyword. So
Right.
that's why we want to see your search terms.
Yeah. And again, for everyone watching, I feel like Google Ads is an input output where you or us, we are inputting these keywords that we think are going to get us the search terms or ranking for the search terms that we want. And then we look at this output, which are the search terms, and it helps us figure out how on track or off track are we. And it helps us because, like, if we see like we're ranking for like Squarespace and for Wix, if you're running our campaign, Ruben, you immediately know, okay, like I need to put Wix and Squarespace on negative keywords so that we're not ranking for these search terms.
Correct. And so before we even launch a campaign, we have a long list of negative keywords that are
Right.
just general.
Right.
But more and more keywords are going to come in that you don't even think of, or and you just want to. It gives you an ideas to add more negative keywords.
Yeah, and this is where we always tell every single one of our clients, like we definitely have a methodology to our ads, and for a lot of the industries that we work in, like we already know what's going to work and what's not going to work, but we're always surprised, and we tell all of our clients, like we always go by the data, and it's never Google Ads is never something that you can just set it and then forget it, because this data is always coming in, and you need to know this so that you're spending your budget wisely.
That's correct.
Okay, so UTMs. You want to talk about how those play into Performance Max?
Yes. So the the previous slides were showing the differences between Performance Max and a search campaign. Now, if you do want to test both, this is the way to do it. So with UTMs, that's something, if you ever click on an ad, you will see on the search bar where the domain is, and then after that, it's a long text. That's probably UTM, and it's used for tracking purposes. So we have a screenshot here of a call tracking software that we use, and this this shows us, or this sets us up for success in terms of testing. So what we can do is go column by column. The first column on the left, that just shows us if it's a call from the website or a call from Google.
Mhm.
That's just another layer for us to know which one performs better.
And these are
The
blacked out. These are blacked out because these are the actual phone numbers that you can see.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
The second column, the source. So this is just telling us it's from Google Ads. Third column is just when the call came in. The fourth column, that was something we needed to hide for information. The fifth column, these are the phone numbers of the inbound calls. So this is where, with UTMs, you can know which lead came from where, and you can start focusing on that. So, for example, the first row, we can see this phone number came from a Performance Max campaign, which you see on the very right. We named it PMax. So this is very important information for our clients. They're able to know, okay, out of these calls, these came Performance Max, these came from a search campaign, which is the middle row. That's a traditional search campaign. And you can confirm that because you can also see the keyword, which
Right.
Performance Max hides. So this is just why it's really important to have UTMs when you're testing different campaigns to actually see the success and the return of the campaigns.
Yeah. I also think it's interesting from an SEO standpoint. So you can tell that these were extensions. These are call extensions, like directly from the search results themselves. And this looks like it was made from either a landing page or probably a landing page, but could be from the homepage itself. So from an SEO standpoint, if you're actually wanting to drive, which is part of SEO, is if the more traffic you get to your website, the better. This is helping your SEO out by getting your potential clients or customers going to the website to then click on the phone number, whereas they're not even going to your website here and you're missing out on that traffic.
Right.
Okay, so we've given everyone kind of a high level view of the difference between search and Performance Max. You just want to go over what we recommend?
Yeah, so having said this, we always start a lead generation campaign with search. This just gets you on the right path to first controlling the quality of your traffic with the specific keywords and the negative keywords, but also you want to start collecting conversions the right way and the most efficient way. Now, once enough conversion data has been collected and you've been building your negative keyword list, that's when we're open to testing different campaigns like Performance Max. The only thing to add here is you want to make sure you can also track post-click information, which is where the UTMs come from. So in the slide before, for example, the client can look at the last 20 calls from Performance Max and the last 20 calls from search and give us the feedback. Hey, only this amount of calls were good in Performance Max and these calls were good in search. Here's my feedback. Adjust the campaigns, right? And that'll tell us either if to keep both running, if to pause one or the other, and just moving forward like that.
Yeah. And that's a big part of any ad campaign is giving whoever you're working with, if you're working with an agency, giving them the feedback on, hey, this is working and this isn't. And if your agency isn't being proactive about sharing this data with you so that you can give them that feedback, you should be asking for it. Because Ruben does a great job of following up with our clients to make sure that not only are we driving traffic and leads, but that it's quality traffic and leads. So you could be getting all the calls in the world, but if they're, I remember, Ruben, we had this one client who they were an HVAC contractor, and they were getting calls when we took over their ads campaign from the other agency for car AC repair, and they only did homes. And so that was an easy fix for us on the negative keyword list. And, had we not had that communication with them, we would have been wasting, or they would have been wasting their own money on the ads. So again, for anyone that's running either your own ads or working with an agency, just make sure you're looking at the quality of the leads, because a lot of agencies hide behind, well, we got you 10,000 clicks and we got you 400 leads. And then you're kind of like, but none of that turned into any business. So you have a quality issue. So if you have any questions about what Ruben and I have discussed today, feel free to send us a DM on LinkedIn, or just reply a question in the actual post on LinkedIn. Ruben, I really appreciate your time, and not only just being here today, but putting together the deck and just doing your due diligence on Performance Max, because I know it was kind of rolled out interestingly. It wasn't wasn't super clear. And I know some agencies in the strive to offer the next best thing, kind of like what's been happening with AI, they just say, oh, there's this new flashy tool that came out and we are the experts on that and you should be doing this. And they don't take the time to educate themselves or educate the clients on if it's actually a good tool, how it should even be used. And they end up, in my opinion, they end up experimenting with their clients' money on if these things even work or not. And so I appreciate you taking that in, and because this has been a problem, very like leery about it, and we still are for good measure. And we're definitely not telling all of our clients that this is going to work for them. It'll work for some clients, but not all of them.
Yeah, of course. I'm here to help, and I would say on the other side of the agencies, some of them don't ever test anything either. So you don't want to be there. Also, you just want to be cautious, test efficiently, and run with what works.
Yeah, that's a great point too. I mean, I know when you and I were talking about it, not only did we do our research ahead of time, but then when we decided, okay, these clients would benefit from it, we approached those clients and said, hey, we're just going to take a very small amount of your budget just to test this. Don't just go all in on this new offering. If you're working with an agency, they should be taking a very small part of your budget and investing that in that new type of technology. So,
Right.
All right. Well, Ruben, thanks again. And for everyone else that's watching, again, if you have any questions, please drop a question in the comment or shoot us a private message on LinkedIn. We're happy to get back to you and answer any questions that you have. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next webinar.